Hello guys, welcome back to my channel, and in this video I'm going to do the tier list update for the release of Tokoyami Towa and Mori Calliope. There are not going to be a lot of other changes in this tier list, just a couple, and that's because I think the current situation is pretty stable. Even though Towa really buffed a lot of attack scaling units that can now be somewhat usable even at higher, really higher deficits, so they might deserve a rank up, but that would be implying a link. And also, we have to consider that Towa buffed so many units across the board, it wouldn't really make a lot of sense to make individual changes. It's more like of a general shift, let's say. But yeah, all things considered, and the fact that we need 5 teams, I didn't want to take the impact that Towa had on some DPS units into account in this update. If there are going to be more substantial changes for attack scaling units in the actual game system, so maybe with the new system we're going to get in June and other patches that they might release, maybe attack scalers could start shining again. But for now, I don't want to increase the rankings based off of just Towa's performance. And yeah, I will just account for that in Towa's ranking, let's say. So that's the main idea. Let me know in the comments how you feel about that. But yeah, I think we can get started by ranking the new units. I will start with Mori Calliope, and I gave her an A plus in the below 350 deficit. Then I gave her an A plus arrow up in the above 350 deficit. You might wonder why I increased the ranking, and that's because I am valuing her more as a utility unit than a DPS unit. So if you are at higher deficit, you care more about evading enemy hits than actually trying to tank them because you cannot really tank them. And below 350, you can still run resistances and be fine even if the enemies are hitting you. But above 350, you're going to get one-shotted anyway most of the times. So you'd rather dodge, and she has a very rare accuracy decrease. It isn't too wide, like it's not really an AoE skill, but it is still good enough so that you can at least dodge some annoying attacks. So for that alone, kind of, and also she has an energy decrease, so not too bad. But yeah, that's the main reason why I gave her more value at the higher deficit. And yeah, I didn't give her S because I don't feel like she really deserves that. The accuracy decrease is nice, but is a bit too niche, and I don't think you will really be running her a lot of times. You will run her every now and then when the situation is meant for her to be run, so you need to decrease the accuracy of the highest attack enemy, and in that case, then you go for her. But again, pretty situational. Works against some enemies, but more on that maybe during the character review of that unit. So yeah, that's my ranking for Mori Calliope. Now let's move on to Tokoyami Towa. And as you might have understood from my initial sort of introduction, I gave her the irregular arrow down. I could have given her irregular, that's it, without any arrows, but I don't know. The fact that she doesn't have HP recovery block, energy decrease, or anything like that is still a bit annoying. Like, her kit is absolutely amazing, definitely a regular tier, but I don't know. I still felt there is something missing. So I gave her that arrow down. But definitely top 3 support unit in the game at the moment. Really, really insane. And for the above 350, the same. There is no loss in value, nothing. She's just as amazing. So yeah, nothing we can say here. I think it's pretty self-explanatory. If you used a Rainbow 5 Tokoyami Towa, you know what I'm talking about. So really, really insane unit. Then if we talk about the changes, as I mentioned, there are not many, and they are barely noticeable, I will say. So the first one is that I removed the arrow up from Asensio. You might be wondering why, and there is no real reason. It's just that I gave Mori Calliope the same ranking, like A plus, and I didn't feel like Asensio deserved the arrow up when we had Mori Calliope in this tier. So I removed that. That's just the only reason. There is no loss in performance from that guy. He's the same guy as before. It's just he didn't sit right with me that Mori Calliope had the exact same ranking. Now, I mean, for the below 350, she has here, but for the above 350, I also removed the Arab from Cunasensio, and here we have Mori Calliope going into the leading role, leading position. So yeah, that's the only reason why. It's pretty stupid, but it is what it is, I guess. And actually, for a similar reason, I gave an arrow down to Albelda in the deficit below 350. That's mainly because, I mean, she's an insane unit, but now we have Towa that buffs attack scaling units almost the same, let's say. If the DPS unit relies entirely on the active skill to deal damage, like Viol or Irang, then maybe Albelda could be a bit better, but the 75 swiftness that Towa provides is still quite competitive. So, all things considered, I would rank them more or less on the same level, even though I think Albelda would be lower overall. Like, if we actually account for everything, Albelda to me is the third support in this game. We could also make a case for Evan being higher, but I don't know. Still, this is kind of the change. To me, Towa is at the moment second only to Anniversary Iwa, and that's mainly because Anniversary Iwa can be linked to Mamanak to decrease the enemy energy like crazy. The energy reduction on Anniversary Iwa special move is probably what's carrying her, together with the invincibility, obviously. But Towa has it as well, and it's probably even more consistent. If you link Mamanak to Towa, you have it up basically all the time. But the thing you don't have is the disruption on the enemy team. And I think for that, Anniversary Way is so much more valuable. So yeah, that's basically all, guys. I don't really have anything else here to discuss. I also assigned the rankings in the future proof tier list. I'm not going to go in that tab because I haven't already loaded it, but whatever. But I can already say Tokoyami Towa will always be super valuable, so the highest tier. And then we have Mori Calliope in the will slowly fall off. I could have placed her in the will stay useful for the accuracy decrease, but I feel like that's gonna be something that more units will have in the future. Her damage is not really that great. Survivability is acceptable, but yeah, I didn't really feel like placing her any higher than that. So yeah, that's all, guys. Let me know in the comments what you think about this tier list update. It was a super quick one. I know you're not used to these kind of short videos, but it's good every now and then to have a shorter video of some kind. So yeah, thank you so much for watching, guys. I will see you in the next one. Bye.